Preservation Thursday. We're here at last. Been a long day. Had to, I'll tell you. And it's warm already. Warm. This don't help. It don't help. Today's question concerns liens. Christy Haut. I hope I said her name right. Christy Haut. H-A-U-T. H-A-U-G-H-T. Excuse me. Christy Haut. I heard a story of a California national. This is a pretty kind of goofy scenario, but it touches on a few very, very critical elements of today's podcast. Proper licensing, subject matter jurisdiction, and oh, by the way, there's breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeed. Breaking news. Another member of the National Association of Mortgage Field Services has been found not to have independent contractors. They have been found to have an employee. Minnesota, it is my understanding, this is a breaking story, information is still coming in, but it is my understanding that a case was presented in front of a judge. And the judge said, you're an employee. That they ruled against a company called Northern Company up in Minnesota. This is a Minnesota court. But the twist, the Minnesota court or the hearing officer, whatever it was, with the unemployment people up there in Minnesota, kudos to them. They used the Bowerman FAS decision. Wonder how they got it. Bad news spreads fast, Mr. Miller. Bad news spreads fast. You got to address this issue, Mr. Miller. It's not going away by allowing, here's the thing, folks. By allowing this to continue, all you're doing is making the mess bigger and bigger and bigger, and the hole gets deeper and deeper and deeper. You have known since at least 2012 that this is an issue in the industry, yet it's never been addressed. When I have people send me minutes from your conventions and all this stuff, Mr. Miller, I see no conversation about this subject, and you know, and so does your board of directors knows, it will damage your organization to come to the table and discuss this. That's my humble opinion, and I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, because you need to come to the table and discuss the employee and the abuse of the independent contractor scenario by the members of your organization. And Craig Carnes, Mr. Carnes, are you going to let these companies rebid the contract because they're going to have to pay prevailing wage because they're working on government properties and they have to pay labor prevailing wage by the hour? They're employees. Has that issue been addressed? Have you asked any of these people that you are awarding contracts for Nevada in Texas? Did you ask that company in Texas how they're going to QC your properties, Mr. Carnes? Hello? You guys know it's a problem. Yet you continue to compound it instead of saying, hey, look, we need to get a handle on this because I'm not going to stop talking about it. Do you think Mr. Williams is going to stop talking about it? Do you think we're going to stop putting information in front of law enforcement to stop the crime that is going on? And oh, by the way, Northern Company, you claim to be a regional operating in more than one state. How many do you have business license? Are you properly licensed? And we'll get to that in a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. But it dovetails into the Northern Company, a member of NAMFS, employees, not hey, I'm going to say it again, ladies and gentlemen. If you're a little tiny mom and pop shop and you're working for one of these companies and they dog you, file unemployment on them. File unemployment. Tell the hearing officer to call me. Go to my website. Go to Paul's website. The information's there. The court cases are there. Everything. We're not blowing smoke anymore. They can't try to discredit us and say, hey, oh, you're just a angry, bitter guy that doesn't get any work. No, I'm not. I'm just somebody that supports labor. I am labor. You are labor. We are labor. I support labor. I don't cheat them. I don't screw them. I never, ever, ever screwed any of our employees, ever. Everyone. I got employees that work for the government that would rather come back and work for me. What does that tell you? I can't give them the benefits they have either. Give me a break. A failed business model, but yet the business development continues to push it. I don't get it. Doesn't make sense to me. I do not get it at all. Do not, and after capping on Joe Hummel, I thought for sure he'd leave a comment below. Didn't do it. How you doing, Joe? Hope everything's all right. I hope you're okay. But thank you, Christy Hout. I hope I say your name right, young lady. I didn't mispronounce it. I heard a story of a California national, rehab work mostly, hiring a contractor in another state to do a market rehab in a neighboring state. I misread when I responded. I didn't catch that part right there. The contractor was in another state, so I'm assuming he's licensed in that state. Okay, so keep that in mind. The contractor completed the scope, turning back allowables that weren't used, and added extras out of pocket and without charging, such as new doorknobs, extra plumbing repairs after discovering leaky pipes in after-hours testing because there's no time, you got water leaking. They fix it. Okay. The California National claims the contract was breached since extra work was completed and the invoice total was different after turning back allowables, not used. Since there is no active roof leak. Since there was no active roof leak. Contractor was required to pay all subs, material costs, etc. before invoicing for the completed work. That's not true. And providing the California company with a conditional lien waiver. That is not true. The national company later advised that they wouldn't pay the contractor since the contract was breached and the lien couldn't be placed on the out-of-state property because the contract was protected by California laws. That is incorrect. That is incorrect. These places are all the same. They invoice property manager what they want to, using the photos the contractor supplies throughout the project. Then they pay if they want or find a way not to pay because they can. I'm guessing this California National, there's not too many of them. Now, just as the California courts ruled in Hurst v. Buzek, or Buczek, Hurst v. Buczek, links in the description, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get links in the description today. California court said, you don't have a business license here. You have no standing. Is company in California, are they licensed in the neighboring state? That's number one. If they're not licensed, they're in violation of state laws and business laws. Number one. Number two, subject matter jurisdiction. Hurst v. Buzek, once again. Hurst v. Buzek, once again, comes into play because the California court, pay attention, California National, California court ruled subject matter jurisdiction is where the work product takes place, not where your office is. So, the neighboring states' lien laws can have controlling interest in what the courts call subject matter jurisdiction. What that means is that the guy who did whatever he did in that other state, he can go lien that property and put a screw to him, because what the California National claimed is incorrect. That's incorrect, and they're saying that again, once again, ladies and gentlemen. This is where part of the educational packaging of the national, the mortgage field service industry. When I say property preservation, the mortgage field service industry, the service technicians of the industry, part of said education has to tie into some business stuff. They do this because they know you're not business savvy. They know you don't know the laws, and you probably don't have money to go get an attorney. Maybe this guy does. I don't know. He was in another state already doing some type of work in that state. He's probably licensed, or she is probably licensed in that state. They have a claim in the state where the work was completed, not where the national says, or not anything like that. And the conditional lien waiver, if there's a neighboring state to California, a big one, Nevada. If you're in Nevada, California conditional lien waiver, California, they can't force that. They can't force that. Get out of here. That's against the law. What they did was break the law. The national did. The guy in the other state, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, if I was in the other state, I'd be leaning the property. No ifs, ands, or buts. I'd be leaning the property. Everything that I heard was kind of poppycock in there, but as far as a reason not to, I have to pause for just a minute, okay? So. That said, ladies and gentlemen, when I'm trying to be diplomatic here without just saying, hey, how stupid are you? And maybe that's what needs to be said. I do not understand, for the life of me, why the powers to be don't want to address this issue, and they want to continue to let it go and let it go and let it go. An update on the court dates, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Another round of barrage of questions, and FAS is really reeling, because now they're asking the business owners. These are questions that they want to know from the business owners. Out of the mileage that you're claiming, how much did you yourself actually use? Not your company, you yourself. So they're going to try to whittle away at the numbers. I can see that coming already. I figured that was going to happen. Been postponed. June 5th. June 5th is a new date. And AMS also. Both cases, once again, postponed. So, yeah, I know. You got fraud information? You need fraud information? Are you with law enforcement? Foreclosurepedia.org. Foreclosurepedia.org. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. To the minute. Hey, you know what? Foreclosurepedia update, recruiting in Georgia. Let me see, Tennessee, Alabama, I think it is too. Well, hang on just a minute here. They're recruiting in Georgia, I know that. Let me see. I know Georgia, Tennessee, I believe Alabama is on their list right now. And maybe Mississippi, I'm not sure. But get over to foreclosurepedia.org. Get your up to minutes, find out who's defrauding people. And I want to say something here, man. I hope I'm not seeing, man. How can Enocean be awarded another contract after cheating HUD on stuff? HUD, Enocean and BLM Properties, ladies and gentlemen, they're the ones that did this HIPAA thing and put people's life in danger. People's life. They put somebody's life on the line for a frickin' dollar. That's something that needs to be addressed, Mr. Miller. BLM and Enocean are in these HUD contracts. Ladies and gentlemen, if anybody out there, I still have their training manual. If HIPAA's included in that training manual and they talk to you about doing that, please somehow turn your recorder on and send it to me so we can once and for all deal with these people? I cannot believe this, man. I'm appalled. I am appalled that they could get anything. They're not a small business, number one, and Ocean isn't. They're nationwide. That's not a small business. So protests, probably. BLM is the same thing. BLM, they're both garbage. They're in the tank with each other. I just have no respect. There's absolutely no way somebody didn't tell those guys before they did that HIPAA that, you know what, that's really dangerous and you ought not do that. And when I saw how they instructed us to do that on a job site, I told them flat out. When I saw I said, you know what, my company is not doing that. I am not allowing my employees to do that, period. No way. I said, you could find somebody. And what they did was they hired a HIPAA crew because we wouldn't do it. $75 a HIPAA is what they were paying. Yeah. Give me a break, huh? Anyways. So once again, kind of a quiet week. I saw another handrail put up, photograph sent to me. That's kind of bizarre. How are these people getting paid for safety hazards that look like that, man? What in the world's going on? When we start looking at things, especially with the employee, this is the third company now, and it's not going to stop. It isn't going to stop, because when we write the article up, we're going to keep connecting the dots for law enforcement. When are conversations going to be had? Very simple. Put a comments down below. Say hi, hello. Make a comment. You part of labor? You got a suggestion? Make a comment. You got a question? Let's bring things to the table. Let's bring things out. Like I'm saying, the courts have ruled by law. You're an employee. You're an employee. For anybody out there right now not taking the steps to protect their company, shame on you. Shame on you. That's all I can say. And I know right now we're going to lose companies. You got to ask yourself, do we really need 2 and 3 people in the middle of the money and the work, taking a percentage of the work just for being in the way? Hello? Come on. That's all they are. They're in the way. They're in the way of the money and you and the work. The work is over here. The money's over here. We don't need all this in here. Get rid of them. For crying out loud, just think about it, ladies and gentlemen. You got to think about it. And if that national doesn't want to work with you, they'll only work. That's called collusion. And it's a RICO violation because they're crossing state lines using electronic means to cheat you out of your money. Hello? I'm not a lawyer. I just get animated, pretend to be, because Wilson whispers in my ear. What can I tell you guys? I don't know, man. I just, it really befuddles me that nobody will say, what have I got to lose? The one that really befuddles me are people that get that boast. We had $140,000 of back charges or chargebacks from Safeguard. Give me a break. $140,000 in chargebacks, I'm 1099ing that in a heartbeat. You need help filing a complaint? You need help going to the unemployment office? Tell them to look on the websites. The information's right there. It's in the public domain. You don't have to be afraid anymore. Talked to the attorney yesterday. Or not the attorney, actually it was the representatives. Some of the questions that they were asking. Keep track of your mileage? Did you keep track of hours worked? No. Did you keep track of dump receipts? Huh? How about tools and equipment? Were you with FAS when they brought the proven system in and you had to buy 4 or 5 of those smartphones to put in employees' hands? Because that was the only way you're going to get paid now, because you have to use the proven system. Did you buy into the line that your workloads were going to go down and your money would, you'd see an increase in money because workloads were going to go down? What they didn't tell you was what time you saved was going to get eaten up in data transfer fees. And oh, by the way, you had to have somebody else push everything through the queue, because even though you're out there taking picture after picture after picture, giving all this information that floats in a queue until somebody physically goes in and pushes it into where it needs to go, just like it was done before. So, and that can't be done from the phone. It has to be done by, bingo. My secretary loved it because she got a lot of extra time. Oh, yeah. But yeah, did you get into that? Keep track of your phone bills? Oh, bingo. Must be in the front row. Think about that, ladies and gentlemen. Do you understand? Do you have a clue? Do you know how much a service costs you? I'll stick a link in there. It's lawn season right now, and I know lawn season is kicking in, but I'll stick a link to a video, break-even point, and we discuss how many lawns at $15, $20, $22, $30, $35, $45 you need to do in one day to break even with a 2-man crew. You got one guy taking photographs, picking garbage up, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You got another guy, we set 2-man crews out all the time. But I negotiated that number. Remember that. I negotiated the number. They didn't tell me what I was going to be paid. I negotiated the number. Always remember that. When they're telling you what they're going to pay you, you might as well get used. Be punching a time clock. So Uber, another company in the news with an independent contractor, and guess what? The employee scenario. The last 2 decisions have not helped them in the property preservation industry. Now they're doing funny cars, and they want to. Now they're being. They went and got automatic cars, and now they're being accused of overcharging passengers. It's an automatic car. Where they lock you in and keep you kidnap you till you pay for the ride? I don't know. I'm not Ubering. I know that. I'm not going to Uber. I do know that. Licensing information, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to put the link. Are you properly licensed? Not only do you need a business license, a lot of this work requires contractors licensing. National Association of State Contractors Licensing Agency, the NASCLA. Link in the description. Every state is in there, ladies and gentlemen. Do you, and I'm just going to go down the line here for, let me see here. California Contractor State Licensing Board. They just have one thing here. California State Electrical and Examining Board of Plumbers. You see what I'm saying? Some places, it's required you have 3, 4, 5 state. Alabama Board, Heating, Air Conditioning, Refrigeration. Alabama Electrical Contractors. Alabama Home Builders Licensing Board. Alabama Licensing Board for General Contractors. Alabama Plumbers, Gas Fitters Examining Board. So make sure, that's just one state. Alabama. If you're down there, say hello to Forrest Gump, would you? Nevada State Contractors Board. Most of these PI Services LLC provide the examination and the licensing verification. But it covers all the states. West Virginia, Washington, Virginia. So it even covers the Virgin Isles, ladies and gentlemen. Virgin Isles. Make sure you're properly licensed. Do you need a business license? Do you need some kind of permit to move hazard material? Do you need to, if you step on a roof, are you supposed to have a roofing license? Are you supposed to be a licensed contractor, roofing contractor, electrical contractors? I know in Nevada is very anal about plumbers, roofers, and electricians. Those three disciplines must be trade licensed, period. I can get away with windows. I'm a glazer, number one, but you can get away under a general contractor's license doing windows without having to have trade specific. That is a different trade in the industry altogether. You can get away with doing sheetrock and painting without having specific licenses for that. If jobs go over X amount of money, which normally in a paint job, you're looking at $10,000, $12,000, you need some different type of licensing. Always check those little things out, because those are the little nuances of business that if you get caught up in something and things start to unravel, that's where you get in trouble. Where things unraveled for Buckzek back in 2010 when they started saying, oh, no, we're licensed back here. We have a business license. We don't need a license in your state. That's what they argued. That kind of hurt them. Had they been licensed in California, maybe the fines wouldn't have been 6 figures. Maybe they would have only been 4 figures. Maybe they would have only been 5. You see, so fines are what hurt you. They break you. And oh, by the way, you don't have a business license anymore because they take that too. So always check your licensing. As I said, this link will be in the description, ladies and gentlemen. I do thank you for tuning in today. I just don't know what to say about this issue. Mr. Miller, Mr. Mingham, Tony Newman, International Association Field Service Technicians. I believe they have an event coming up here too, pretty soon, around the 1st or something. I'll have more information on that over the weekend or next week probably. But what we have going on today, actually it was yesterday, Northland Company, another NAMFS member, has a employee ruling go against them. That makes 3 members now. Buckzek, FAS, Field Asset Services, AMS is next. We got Northland already on a state level, and oh, by the way, they're using the federal things. Mr. Miller, Mr. Mingham, Tony Newman over at the International Association of Field Service Technician. This is a call to you guys. You're the leading people in the industry. You're the big chingaderas. Come on now. Somebody got to say something. This issue has to be addressed. There's no ifs, ands, or about it. This is an industry issue. It's an industry. We're not, if nobody gets in front of it now, regulation's going to get in front of it, and then people will get hurt. Your choice. Continue down this road, continue beating the stake in the ground, or pull it up and deal with it. It's just that simple, ladies and gentlemen. And if you're labor, if you're part of labor, you understand what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. If you're new in the industry, AllidayLLC.com, ladies and gentlemen, AllidayLLC.com. Go take a gander at the website, foreclosurepd.org, foreclosurepd.org. Kim Savage in the Richmond, Virginia area. Kim Savage, it was her birthday. Haven't heard from her since her birthday. I think she had too much birthday party, too much birthday cake. Maybe she just blew up like Marie Antoinette or something. I don't know. Her birthday was Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. Happy birthday, Kim Savage. Women at Work. Women at Work, 804. What is that number? It's 804. I got it right here. 804-539-4333. Women at Work. Property preservation, property maintenance needs in one place. If you're in the DeLand, Florida area, look up Brett Douglas, Team Ironclad. If you can donate, you like what you hear, hit us with a thumbs up, sign up, subscribe, do all that good stuff. The thumbs up, the subscribe, it all helps the cause, ladies and gentlemen. If you can donate, links are in the description. Certainly appreciate it. Go see the doc tomorrow. Let's keep our fingers crossed, huh? Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. Check back weekend wrap, because we're gonna, we're gonna have comments today. Weekend wrap, late Sunday. Let's have a great day, ladies and gentlemen. Let's all be safe out there.